Next Village San Francisco is a local nonprofit providing services and support that empower seniors to live independently in their own homes. We welcome people who want to keep connected with their community as members, volunteers, and supporters. We host 30 to 40 free activities and events each month for the public, and our members have access to our network of volunteers. Learn more and get involved at nextvillagesf.org. We hope you enjoy this video.
Well, it's a pleasure. Again, this is my second cooking event at Next Village. And today I am making a
Shrimp curry.
Shrimp curry. A shrimp curry, you are correct. A shrimp curry specifically from the coastal region of South India. And it's called Malabar coconut shrimp curry.
But it's not too hot.
It's not too hot. No, no. Well, traditionally, if you are having it in India, it is hot. Yes, yes. Traditionally, the original recipe is, yes, it comes in that category. But I have kind of just moved things around, spice levels, spices, which I will come to in a moment. So just to, to everyone's palate here.
Yeah.
And I will not make it spicy, just the mild version of the shrimp curry. So thank you again for joining in, and let's get started. Firstly, can everybody hear me? On Zoom, everybody there, am I clear enough?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
Just want to make sure. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So for the shrimp curry, obviously we need shrimp. So I have about 20 to 25 shrimp, and this should be a curry enough for 4 to 6 people if you're having it as an entree, and we're going to be serving it with rice today. It's about 20 to 25 large shrimp, and these I got from Safeway. They're frozen, which I've thawed. You can buy fresh. You can go with fresh if that's is available. You have seafood vendor around who gives you fresh shrimp. Perfect. So these I have thawed. And these the shrimp I have just sprinkled a little bit of turmeric powder, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and a squeeze of lime juice. So then we have 1 large onion. You could use red, yellow, white, whatever floats your boat. I'm using red onions here. Finely minced red onions.
One whole.
Yeah, this is about 1 large onion. Yeah, 1 large onion. 2 garlic cloves, which I am going to be grating with a mini grater shortly. A piece of fresh ginger. I have, this is very traditional in Indian cooking. We use it all the time. These are fresh curry leaves. And you get these only in an Indian grocery store. And these have a lot of flavor, especially used in South Indian cooking, and which I'm going to be using in the shrimp curry. So I've got about 8 to 10 large curry leaves.
Never heard of curry.
This is very, very popular. Then we have, all right, this is a bit of my own touch that I know I put down in the recipe sheet. This is lemongrass. So I kind of peel the lemongrass, just the outer stalks, which are very tough, peel them, and I've come to this thin white portion, and I am going to be chopping maybe about a couple of inches, which is the soft part. I mean, you'll get to know once you start chopping, and once you reach the really tough part, you got to stop. So I'll be chopping this in a moment once I come to the curry cooking. Then I have, of course, very important ingredients, which is again easily available everywhere: unsweetened coconut milk. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I showed the label.
Yeah. So this is, I think, this is from Safeway. This is just coconut milk, unsweetened.
Hi.
Yeah. And you get this in Trader Joe's, this is easily available. It has to be unsweetened, just make sure. Then again, to make things, just the cooking slightly simple, you could use again fresh tomatoes, maybe a couple of fresh tomatoes. I'm using a canned variety, Hunt's. I guess everyone's familiar with Hunt's. It's available in Safeway. And I'll just try and experiment with the fire roasted and diced tomatoes. You'll see how that, just for a little different flavor. So I'll see how this goes. But any diced tomatoes, a can of it, or a couple of fresh tomatoes, that would be too. Then we have, let's come now to the next important part of this dish are the spices. Okay. So I have, again, as I mentioned, I've just kind of, made the recipe easy. Not too many spices which go running around, to the Indian store here and there. I picked up a little jar of Madras curry powder from Safeway. So this is Madras curry powder. It's a Morton and Bassett brand. Yeah.
So for everyone at home,
So that is curry powder.
should we pass around some? or-
Sure, yeah, you can open it. Yeah, I think I've opened it. Yes, absolutely.
Since it's new, it should be very.
It is, yes. It's
Oh,
very fragrant. And
very
in fact,
full.
I'll just read out the ingredients also, what the curry powder has in it. So
Okay.
this should work, you don't have to go running around to the market buying, everything individually. It's all in one powder, and this would go great with this curry. Curry powder.
been giving Safeway a lot of free advertising there.
Both sides.
It's over here.
This one, yeah. So this is curry powder. It basically has these Indian spices. It has turmeric, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, cinnamon, garlic, ginger, mustard, anise, clove, fennel, fenugreek, pepper, chilies, and oregano.
Wow.
So this is, yeah, this will bring, this will just add to the flavor. And it's not very hot, so I would just, I put in the recipe 1 to 2 teaspoons, so it again depends on how, hot you like it. So this again is, as per your taste, the curry powder. Then we have whole spices here. So I have, all right, bay leaves. Okay, a couple of bay leaves. Again, I believe you get fresh ones too in Safeway. I've seen them in the produce aisle. These are dried ones.
You prefer fresh or the dry?
You know what? Both. I usually use the dried one. I have them in stock, but whenever I see the fresh, I just,
What they look like for everyone at
I think the dried ones are more intense in flavor.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I'm using 2 here and maybe perhaps an inch piece thick of cinnamon and a couple of green coriander, 3 green coriander seeds. Again, this gives, I love, green cardamom seeds, which again give a lot of flavor. Yeah, green cardamom.
got cardamom here,
2,
cinnamon
3.
here.
3.
I love green cardamom. I put it in every curry.
Mhm.
So these are actually, this is the basic, the whole spices which goes into every curry, be it North India, South India. So this is the basic spices which
By
we
the way,
all put in.
Your curry, Madras is a certain part of India?
Yes, so Madras is a big, now originally Madras, it's now called Chennai. So it's in South India. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I think we're down to the last, obviously to cook, we need oil. I've mentioned in the recipe, because we're using coconut milk and in South India, you use a lot of coconut flavoring. You could very well go with coconut oil. It would go great with this curry. I am just using avocado oil, any cooking oil, canola, you could use olive, which has a little, can take in some high heat. So I'm using avocado oil. Coconut oil would go perfect with this.
But
If you
not
like
olive.
that. You could use it. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a little
Yeah,
heavier.
it's a little heavier. So I'm using, this is neutral, I know, it's got no flavors, avocado oil it is today, and of course, salt and pepper to taste accordingly. And I think I got all the ingredients down. So now we will start cooking. Any questions about the ingredients, availability, all good? All good, guys?
Anyone at home have any questions?
All right, I'm gonna put on this.
No? Great.
Great, all right. So today, just for ease of cooking, as I did last time, I've got an instant pot. This can be made in a Dutch oven, any large, non-stick soup pot. It doesn't necessarily, but if you have an instant pot, you could use it. So I'm using that today, and I'm going to cook on the saute mode here. So let's put it on saute. So yeah,
What mode?
saute, just saute,
Saute.
like stir fry,
Okay.
saute. Yeah. So I put it on. It'll take a couple of minutes to heat. In the meantime, I'm going to just do a little more prep work. I've got my onions chopped. I am going to just grate the garlic and the ginger. All right, I've got a little mini grater here.
Mhm.
So this is the easy, instead of mincing, I prefer grating it because then you don't get big pieces in your mouth. It kind of blends in well with the curry base.
And the blood in your fingers makes it so too.
Ah,
That's a, that's a good one.
We've all been there.
We've all been there, done that. Yeah, many times. Oh, All right, so I have 2 garlic cloves, which I'm grating, and that should be about a teaspoon of fresh garlic we're using. That should be adequate for, I guess, these many shrimp. Next is about an inch piece of ginger, fresh ginger.
The little grater looks so.
I love this. This is my handy dandy grater. Yeah, this
Where'd
is
you
great.
get that?
Yeah. No, this is, I've had this forever. Safeway? Target. I've had this forever. Yeah, but I love this. Yeah, the little hand grater is just perfect for these. Even for nutmeg, anything, any spice you have, just easy, clean up, and yeah, you don't need a blender or anything for this.
They have that in the 5 stores, and they also have, if you've ever seen the little plates with little ridges sticking out from it,
Yeah,
that works really well as a zester or as a similar type of grating
good. Yep.
in a
Yeah.
but that's
That
significantly cuter.
I don't, yeah, good question. I've had this forever. Picked it up and I've been using it every day in my kitchen. So I have. So this comes to about a tablespoon of grated garlic and ginger. I don't need any more. I'm gonna
Just post that from the grater.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the grater? Yeah. It's very cute. I know. I love
I
it.
need everyone to see it. This is so cute.
It's a little grater. It's like a little teeny weeny.
It has some-
Yes, garlic press. Yeah,
Does it have some
absolutely.
tomato on it?
The meat. Got a.
One
Yeah,
more.
I'll take a deeper look at it. No, but I bet if you look at mini grater, it's got a little logo on it. If you look at
It's available, yeah. This is really hard to find. I'm gonna keep this aside. I don't think I need this anymore. And now, yeah, so the instant pot is heating up. And as I said, it is on saute mode. I am gonna slowly start adding in the ingredients, starting with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. Let's go with 3 since we have so many shrimp today. Oh, sorry. Mustard seeds. I forgot mustard seeds.
Oh.
Big bottle is, I'm forgetting something. Okay, this is another spice used a lot in South Indian cooking. These are black mustard seeds. Okay,
As opposed to
you get
yellow.
yellow. So black mustard seeds.
Everyone at home can see this is what they look like. They're very,
I
very.
forgot about that. Yeah.
So
that
these-
also is a very important.
What's the
ingredient.
difference between black and the yellow? The stronger?
The yellow would be a slightly soft. Yeah.
Oh, the
Yes,
yellow?
yes. I never really cooked with yellow, but I usually cook with the black. If this is not got, if the heat, I mean, no heat, the heat level is minimal. It's got no, it's just for the
Smells like
flavor.
curry.
It's just very nutty. It's just,
Smells like-
Safeway again?
Linda wants to know if you can get these at Safeway.
I've seen the yellow mustard seeds. Black mustard seeds, I believe, only get it at an Indian grocery store. I've not
Well,
seen.
I'll be going there anyway to get those curry leaves, so, okay.
Okay, so black mustard seeds easily available. Any Indian store will have.
Yeah.
Carry them. Yeah.
And
So
last
this-
time, Devika gave some fantastic Indian
The
grocery stores, so
stores.
I'll send those out again
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
What's
there
the
are a couple
closest
of them.
one?
So the closest one is in the Safeway complex down on Webster and Geary. There's a big Safeway there on Geary and Webster. So it's you go vendor Safeway and it's like a strip mall, and there's a grocery store called Jeho, Jiho, Jeho, like the song. Oh, sorry, this is for this. So Jeho keeps everything. So that's closest we have at least for us in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and again, we'll send this in a
Okay,
follow-up.
all right.
J,
And I know there's one on Polk Street. Yeah, I will make sure that Camille has the information and the addresses. So you'll get everything there.
Okay, and what?
I think-
I'll figure out and send it in a follow-up.
I'll just-
Ah.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start putting in.
You don't have rice in there yet?
No, rice is separate. Yeah, that is separate. I'm just making the curry. The curry, today we're serving with rice, but it will go very well with, I don't know if any of you have eaten the Trader Joe's, the Malabar parathas, from the frozen aisle, where you get the tandoori naans. They also keep something similar to, it's like a fried flatbread frozen. So it's called Malabar parathas. So that would go great with the Malabar
Last,
shrimp.
last class, we had naan, right?
We had
Yeah.
naan, correct. Naan, but these and rice goes
Yeah.
very well with. So maybe, yeah, I can tell you, Camille, yeah, maybe for later you can make a note of that.
I'm writing all this down. I'm gonna use it
Yeah,
at home.
all right, now I'm gonna add, all right, I'm just gonna eyeball it, say about 3, so 1, 2, and 3, all right, 3 tablespoons of oil.
Pretty good to eyeball this corn.
I'm the teacher.
Measure. When I was writing the recipe, I was like, I just eyeball everything. It's like, yeah, and if something knee is less, and stuff, I just kind of add it in the end. That's how I work. I cannot work with. So this, I made sure I've got, just to make, yeah. I need to put down like 5 teaspoons, how many curry leaves? I can just eyeball everything. All right, so once this gets heated, I'm going to add, so always we add the whole spices in first. So I'm going to add the bay leaves. Cardamom goes in, cinnamon. All right. And then I'm going to add the mustard seeds. The spices go in first.
Who's upstairs?
Oh, I think it's next.
We got some neighbors. But
Next door?
It's next door, yeah.
They're trying to get out of the bathroom.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to add about a teaspoon of fresh mustard seeds. They will, get into mid, they start sputtering. And they may just kind of come flying out of the pot, but that's how it's supposed to be so that the flavors get released in the oil. So mustard seeds go in next. And then once they start sputtering,
Let me just move this.
yeah, or you know what?
And then
This is not
bring it
hot.
down.
Is that good? Yeah.
Oh, wait, forgot your full face. All right, can everyone see
Can-
that? Everyone at home? Please, yeah. Cool. That's
Is
what
that
we're,
good?
that's what we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Excellent. All right, that's just the beginning. All spices, the whole spices, the mustard seeds, and then I'm going to go in. So now they're slowly sputtering. I'm going to add in the onions. All right, so onions go in next. So a lot of onions. This is one large onion I've used. Right, and we're going to saute this for a couple of minutes till it starts turning translucent. All right, so yeah. Make sure to give it a nice stir. Incorporate everything inside, all the spices. This recipe also calls for green chilies like jalapenos or serrano chilies, which I've not put in this recipe, but you can. Feel free to add a green chili.
That's the spice it up and make it hot.
And if you can, but if you de-seed the chilies, I think, it's not that hard, but I've kind of omitted it for this recipe. But feel free to add in a couple of jalapenos or green chilies. Yeah.
What was the liquid that was bubbling, please?
That is the oil and the mustard seeds.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So now the onions will take a few minutes to slowly start, they'll release the juices. They will start turning translucent. So I'll just give it a nice stir. All right. Leave this for a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Does everyone in person want to stand up and take a look?
Yeah, please feel free. Absolutely. Just, and any questions, please, yeah, come. Can you have a look and,
Yeah, we have to go forward.
yeah.
Not for-
You know what? I painted that. So this is just the base of any curry, onions is, yeah, it's to go. It just gives it body, onions, tomatoes. So we start with the onions. In the meantime, once these are, stir frying these, I'm going to work on the lemongrass. So this is lemongrass, as I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to perhaps just chop maybe a couple of inches till I reach the really tough portion.
Mhm.
So I'll just chop it and I'll show you. So very thin slices, you don't want it, really coming in your mouth and, having to chew it. So I'll try and be very
You're bigger than that.
precise with the lemongrass. All right, so yeah, so that's easy. So, that's good. Yeah, and now slowly I can just feel my knife getting a little there. That's good too. Yeah, so let's keep going. About a couple of inches. Thin slices. You can peel, another layer. Perhaps let's try peeling one more layer and getting more of the meaty part inside.
So the inside of it
Before
and the base is the part that you would want.
Exactly. So this, yeah, so I think this will do too. So let's go. Yeah, there you go.
Do you guys want to toss that around? It sounds
It-
amazing. Or can you smell that one?
I love lemon. In fact, you know what? I'll pass this around now because I won't need the whole thing. Oh, yeah. See, that's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of meat inside. So I'm gonna go. In the meantime, I'm gonna also not forget my onions and keep stirring. You don't want them burning. That's the last thing I want. All right, yeah.
Onions definitely change color.
Yeah, there. So I'll give it a minute more. And then you can even, get the fragrance, the aroma coming out from the onions. All right. Okay. So let's keep going with the. Oh yeah, that's a lot of lemongrass. So much to do. All right, let's go with that. When you go with scallions, if you can't find one. You know what? Yes, even if you don't get scallions, you can go with scallions. Sure, yeah.
It's a different thing.
It's just a different taste, but it's okay. You can improvise, just be creative. That's okay. Yeah, that should be. Yeah, you want to pass this around, just feel it. I love it. Yeah. And it's good, goes great with tea. If you just kind of brew it in some water, lemon is really good for you. All right, so this is lemongrass. This part, yeah, that's the portion I chopped, just the meaty white part.
This right
It's
here,
about maybe a tablespoon of lemongrass.
and then this is the ginger and garlic?
Yeah.
Okay, ginger, garlic, and
That's the
lemongrass. Got these cute little rings too.
I tried to, dice it as finely as I could.
Oh, no, I love it. Love it taste at the end.
So, all right, so onions, I think, are at the right consistency, and at this stage, I am going to add in the curry leaves. I'm just going to break them, and these are really large leaves. It just depends.
Mhm.
So I've just gone with maybe 5 or 6 of these. I'm going to just maybe, it's so big, I'm just going to tear them in half, like how you tear basil, and just throw it in.
Mhm.
All right, give it a stir. And then I'm going to add at this point, I'm going to add the ginger and the garlic. A tablespoon of the ginger and garlic that goes in next. All right. So we'll give this a minute. Yeah, you don't want to burn the garlic or the ginger. Just keep stirring and scrape the bottom of the pan. You don't want any of the bits sticking to the bottom. Just keep scraping as you stir. Stir and scrape the bottom.
It's a little thick, yeah, a little more.
You can, yes, you can. You can even add a little bit of water, just to scrape it. Maybe I will do just to, I'm just waiting for. You know what? I got the water. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Water. So I'll just add maybe a tablespoon of water. And I know it's going to give up. Just be careful. It'll give up a little steam. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
That's water?
That's
Yeah.
water. Just a tablespoon, just to scrape the bottom of the pan or the pot you're
Okay,
cooking in.
okay.
So that we
I
get
got
all the flavor in the mixture. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's they too.
All right. Is that good? Yeah, can they? Oh, yeah. Perfect. All right. So now, and this is a very simple curry, there's nothing, no blending needed, nothing at all. Just chop and throw in and let the pot do the cooking. All right. So now, once it starts turning light, you don't want them to darken too much, just light golden brown. That's the time when I'm going to add in tomatoes. All right. Either fresh tomatoes, chop them, or as I said, the diced variety. So I'm just going to add in about, that's a can full of diced tomatoes there. Yeah, let's go with the tomatoes. Let's go with all of them. And then you're going to give this about, say, 5 minutes just to do its work and give it a good stir there. And if you're cooking, if you're not using the instant pot, you can just kind of, have the heat on medium, high. That should work. Not too high. Okay. So on medium, high heat, let the tomatoes slowly start, releasing their juices. And we'll give it about 5 to 6 minutes until, you can see a bit of the oil coming around the sides. So that is a sign that the curry base is ready for the next step. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And that looks pretty hearty. So that'll give it, give the curry a nice thickness. Yeah. You know what, feel free, yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, so yeah, please walk around, any questions, I'm willing to, take, yeah,
That's very tomato.
tomatoes, tomatoes, yeah.
Mm. There's only a few books.
When you come across the link when you're eating, you take that. You can use it, it's very good, curry, very good to take the health, it's got a lot of medicine on it. Yeah, it's got a lot of good things in it, okay, yeah.
So our curry leaf a day keeps the doctor.
Is it? Yes. It's, I mean, many of these spices are very good for you. I mean, they have a lot of, medicinal properties, and if you use them, use them in the right consistency.
I feel better already.
Well, I hope it tastes as good as it smells. We'll see at the end. But no, this is doing well. And you know what? At this stage, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cover it slightly, ever so slightly, so that, they just cook a little faster, the tomatoes. So we, again, at home, if you're cooking on your gas or an electric stove, just cover it and reduce the heat to low. Yeah, I won't cover, I'll just leave a slight opening here. I don't want to cover the whole thing. I don't want anything burning. So I've just covered it maybe for a few minutes and let the tomatoes cook down. And then we'll open the lid and see what's happening inside. And yeah, so I think, so it's easy. I have nothing else to do. Just coconut milk goes in next and some of the remaining spices, and of course, lastly, the shrimp. So yeah, so any questions, anything I'd be happy to answer.
Yeah, does anyone at home have any questions? Anyone here have any questions?
What is that you have not yet put in there?
The lemongrass. That'll put towards the end. Yeah. So, and then this, you could even use fish. Fish goes great. Any fish, you just kind of cube it, to dish size cube, and you could add fish. Fish is a great substitute of shrimp. Chicken, any meat, vegetarian, whatever. It's but traditionally it is made with seafood and shrimp.
No vegetarians.
No vegetarian.
You're a professional.
No, I wish, that's my. I think, and this comes from, I think I mentioned this in my first cooking class, that again, just growing up in India, starting from my grandmom's kitchen in Delhi, and she used to cook a lot of traditional, like North Indian, very simple vegetarian. So my grandmother, she's not there, no more, but she never ate ginger, garlic, or anything which grew below the ground, like any roots. It was just part of tradition. So she was a pure vegetarian, as you would say it. So no onions, no ginger, no garlic, and very little dairy. So vegan too, So she was, she lived till about,
That doesn't leave much.
85, and she lived alone for many years. And, I have wonderful memories, just a lot of nostalgia. So I tried to make a lot of those traditional dishes. And then, of course, my mom is a super cook. She lives in Mumbai. So I wish, I always say it's like, when I go home, I'll just tell her, like, I just feel like, they're real too. My mom and dad are sitting in spirit. Because, they would be very happy to see me cooking. Also, my mom, she's another big inspiration. And then I just find it's just therapeutic also, I love it, and trying new things, and just there's so much available here, local produce. So I kind of just innovate and improvise and just go along.
So you cook every day.
Yes, more or less every day. Yeah. Sometimes, of course, I take a break. It's like,
Is it always as intricate as curries, or is it kind of?
No, it can be simpler, and of course, it's very different from the food you get in restaurants. Those are much richer, like the tikka masala, those gravies. That's why we don't add any cream, not too much butter. Ghee, yes, in the clarified butter, but it's much lighter. We eat a lot of vegetables, fresh vegetables, which we kind of saute again with spices, etc. So there's like a plethora of stuff, especially vegetarian, non-vegetarian, which is very different from cooking from what you get in restaurants. So we'll see how it goes. Next time, maybe I can cook something, vegetarian, or maybe a dessert.
No
There's so much out there.
A dessert? I don't think anyone would be mad about that.
A dessert, all right.
Well,
Next
after
time
this-
it can be a dessert.
Papadum.
Now, oh my God, you brought up a great thing. Papadum goes great with the curry. Curry, rice, and papadum.
Like couples. So, like a tortilla that like blows up. Oh, right.
And have you tried the papadum which are now available in Trader Joe's? So there is, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
In Trader Joe's, they
In
have
Trader Joe's.
everything.
There's like, it's like, yes. So I just picked, I think it's last month and I just saw it and I think it's in the purple packaging where all the chips and other stuff is papadums. Yeah. So easy. You don't have to bake them. Just open the bag and great with this. I'm so glad you brought it up. The papadum. That's a very South Indian thing to have. Yeah. All right. So now this looks pretty cooked down the tomato, you know. If you
Yeah,
can
wow.
see you can walk, the tomatoes are slowly releasing the juices and a bit of the oil. So that is a sign, as I mentioned, when they release the oil or the cooking, medium, the ghee, that means you're ready. It's tomatoes are ready, they're cooked and they're ready for the next step. So they don't have any of the raw flavor anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's a perfect looking base for any curry.
Oh, Linda asked, would it be good with a bit of cashews?
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. Cashews go great.
Okay, yeah.
You can. But cashews, I mean, you mean whole cashews, Linda? You want to add
No,
whole
I,
cashews?
I mean, chop them up, but I wonder,
Yeah,
should they be,
sure. Oh, yeah.
and should they be
But
toasted first, you think, before you put them in, or
you
just
could, yes,
raw?
you could toast them, or yeah, absolutely. In fact, cashew nuts are used a lot in South Indian cooking. So yeah, that's great. Yes, absolutely. Add in those cashews.
Yeah.
All right, now I am going to go with adding a little water just to bring it to a kind of a soupy consistency. So I'll just add about maybe half a cup just now. Okay, and then
That wasn't in your recipe.
So, so this is this is a little bit like cooking chili, right?
cooking
In that
chili,
you're-
yes, yes, the base is very similar. Onions, tomatoes, and of course the spices are different. But yes,
Yeah.
you're right
In other
about
words,
that. Yep.
in other words, to add water to keep it liquid.
Yes,
rather
just
than
add so that
paste.
it doesn't dry out. And again, just
Yeah.
scrape the bottom. That is the
Yes,
key.
So it does-
yes.
Exactly. At this stage, I am going to go in and add, let's go, I think, let's go with I think I'm going to add the lemon juice, the lemongrass later. I'm going to go with some coconut milk. I think in the recipe, I mentioned 1 cup of coconut milk. This is a can, so I will kind of eyeball it. And just remember to just kind of stir it because it gets a little thick at the top. So I'm going to just give this a nice stir. Or shake it before you open the can. Yeah. All right. That's really thick, unsweetened coconut milk. I'm going to eyeball it and I'm going to add, start with, sorry.
I didn't know coconut milk was that thick.
It is, yes. Because this is the first, there's something known as the first press and a second press. So this is the liquid when you kind of grind it the first time, the coconut. So it's very thick.
Oh, so it comes from grinding the coconut.
Exactly.
How
And
we
then
open
you
it.
extract the juice.
That's kind of water.
And then you extract the juice.
That's when you open a coconut, what you get is coconut water, and then
Yeah.
coconut milk is
It's from the flesh, the white flesh.
Grinding the coconut.
And grinding it and extracting the milk. Yeah. So this is the first, they call it the first milk, which is the really thick milk. All right. I am going to go, since we have, about a lot of, I'm going to go with a little more coconut milk. So maybe about 1.5 cups. All right. Yeah, I think that should do.
So you don't use the whole can.
Not, yeah, that'd be a bit too much. You don't want it too much.
Put it in the rice.
Correct. Yeah, you can cook rice with it. Yeah. Coconut rice here. All right. So again, I'm going to give it a stir.
You ever cook it?
oh, it's great. It's very rich. But
Yeah, I like to eat. I just don't think I have.
So the consistency right now is what
It's
compared to
about like
what?
a soup, soupy. It's not too thick, not
Soup.
too thin. It's just in between.
Okay.
Yes.
Like soup. Okay, great.
you kind of see it now.
Can you see it?
Because
It's like kind of turned a pink because of all the tomatoes, the onions browning.
Rick, can you see the curry okay?
Oh, yeah, it's just like soup. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Now I'm
great.
going to add in the next important ingredient is the curry powder. All right. So this is the time and the lemongrass. So I'm going to take my little teaspoon here. I'll just go slow. So maybe just about, let's start with, and I'll taste it. Don't want too overpowering. So I'll go with about a teaspoon of curry powder.
A little goes a long way, so what?
So yes, it can. So that's why you cannot, add and then take it out. So I'm going to just go step by step. Exactly. I'd rather just keep it low, less and then add it if need be. And I'll just taste so we'll give this a stir. Yeah, you can just smell the curry powder now. Yeah. So I think, yeah. That's good. All right. All right. Now I'm going to add in the lemongrass. Okay, lemongrass goes in next. Then again, I'll give it a quick stir.
So how much lemongrass did you think that was?
About a tablespoon, Rick.
A
A
tablespoon,
tablespoon.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
of just the stuff, just the meaty white part of the lemongrass.
Actually, you have a little more.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, or maybe a little more. It depends on, just the thickness and, you can add more if you like it more lemony, feel free. It's not going to kind of harm the dish in any way. It's just going to add more flavor. So yeah, so there. I'm going to again just cover it halfway for about a couple of minutes. And then lastly goes in the shrimp and the seasoning, salt and pepper, and maybe a little water. I'll just cover this. Easy, right? Not that difficult. I mean, it's doable. Everything is except maybe a couple of ingredients which you get in your store. So this is a base of a very South Indian curry. All right. Get that a few minutes.
You put the mustard seed in? Yes.
Yes, that goes right in the base.
Yeah.
Always spices, the whole spices, dry spices, always in the base. Because then they flavor the oil. And then you go with the onions, tomatoes, that's like, hard and fast food. And then go into the meats and veggies and other spices, powdered spices.
Now, the tomatoes,
Yeah.
are they salted?
These, have a little salt.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that's another thing. Before adding any salt, if you're using canned, just go, don't add too much. Exactly. Taste salt. That's what I'm going to do. That's a good
What
thing.
would-
You brought up. Yeah.
What would be the difference between the canned tomatoes and fresh tomatoes? I mean, what would
So
the
can,
dish?
yeah, it's a
what-
salt can, Rick, and as I mentioned, I think in the beginning, I said I'm just experimenting. So I am using the fire roasted diced tomatoes here.
Okay.
Yeah, just experimenting. You can just go with, you can even add tomato puree, crushed tomatoes. If you want it really like a soup, you don't want too much, the tomato pieces. So that is another option again.
So it's all about texture then.
It's about texture, exactly, Rick. Yes, it's about
Yeah.
texture, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All
Guess you
right.
can put this all in a blender if you really want to.
And you can put it in a blender, but of course you need to just take out the whole spices. You don't want to blend it to that. But yes, you can do it just to kind of smoothen it all out. At this point, I know I've not added salt, but I'm going to give it a little taste. Just check the curry powder if I need any more. So I am going to just go in. Oh yeah, I can smell the coconut. I'm getting a nice facial there.
Seems good for you.
It's good for good for the skin too. All right, just make sure it's not too hot. I think I can add a little more curry.
Right.
I'm going to go in with a little more curry powder, maybe half a teaspoon.
Does anyone at home have any questions? Are you guys taking notes? You can make this later.
And then, I'm going to add a little water too, just a little water. If you find it too thick, you can add a little water, maybe another quarter to a half cup. Again, stir the bottom, scrape out the bottom a bit of the pan there. All right. I think now this looks good. And now we go in for the last, which is the main ingredient, shrimps.
If we want to add some a little punch with some spice, could we use just some kind of a East Asian hot sauce, or should we use?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, be creative, Rich. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, okay.
can add-
Or the fresh peppers.
You can add fresh peppers. Yes, as I said, jalapenos. Yes, they would go great. Fresh peppers. You can add some hot sauce, sriracha.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well,
Red chili flakes if you like.
Woo.
That too.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
getting excited about this already.
I'm so happy to see that.
Of course, you get too hot, you may not taste the smell.
Oh, the hotter the better.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. You know what, I was like, okay, it seems to be at the right cooking temperature. It shouldn't, let's put it back, yeah.
Did you make it the right salad?
You know what, this will take another 5 to 7 minutes. Good shrimp will cook really fast, 5 minutes.
Okay.
So the rice, yeah, you can stop,
Totally,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah, because this is the last step and I think you're good to go. I'll just, yeah.
Rice only takes 7 minutes. I think you cooked it already.
This is, yeah, so you could use, basmati rice, steamed jasmine rice would go well. All righty. Now I'm gonna just add some seasoning. So some black pepper. All right, I'm gonna add black pepper again to, this is to taste. Just ground black pepper, maybe I'm adding about half teaspoon here.
So it's fine,
Yes.
fine, but
Pure ground black pepper, yeah. Again, safe way, thank you. All right, and then again, salt. Again, if you're using diced tomatoes, there is a bit of salt in that. So I'm gonna go in, maybe about half a teaspoon. All righty. And I'm gonna taste the curry. And now I'm gonna add in the shrimp. Shrimp will not take too long, so you don't want to overcook the shrimp. So at this point, what you can also do is add the shrimp, give it a little stir, and then you can just switch off your flame. And I'm gonna maybe just switch off and just cover it and just let it cook in its own heat, 4 to 5 minutes and it depends on the size. I'm using like medium to last about 5 to 6 minutes max. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
since it turns color.
And yes, once it starts, yeah, and I guess when the tail goes in and it starts turning a pink, that's when you know it's done. You don't want to overcook your shrimp ever. So in go the shrimp.
Would there be any difference in cooking time between fresh shrimp and the frozen type?
Yeah.
Well, this is frozen and then
And then thawed, yes.
so these are not frozen right now.
I've
Yeah,
thawed them. I've used, yeah, but I've thawed them.
Yeah, so
Yes,
so
I mean,
those
you have
are,
to. You can't just put in, no. That's a
So
no.
the-
You can't put in frozen. You have to thaw them. Oh yeah,
So-
completely thaw them overnight in the refrigerator, or you can just keep it out during the day for a few hours, but you have to thaw them.
okay,
Don't add frozen shrimp ever. They will
Yeah.
just ruin the dish.
You pour out
okay. So the fresh and the frozen are going to be the same
No,
temperature.
no. Adding frozen shrimp. They have to be fresh or thawed if frozen.
Okay,
And of course, shelled, deveined. Yeah, so now if you guys want to, just peep in, you can see the tails are slowly starting to turn pink. There.
So
All righty. Yeah. And I will also, yeah, you can, yeah, please feel free to speak and yeah.
you're not gonna cover it?
So you know what? I'm gonna just leave it open at this point, and maybe after a minute I'll just turn it off and cover it. Yeah, it's just just wait for it to just turn a little more pink, and then I'm gonna check the seasoning too. Where's my salt is here. What else is my tasting? Okay, I'm gonna put it inside. Just want to make sure. Yeah, so they're cooking. And the rice is on its way too. All right, awesome. Oh yeah, and they're curling up now. So it's been about 3 minutes. There. I'm gonna give it one last taste this evening. That's pretty good. Maybe a little more salt.
Like about
Yeah, that's good.
2 teaspoons, so.
2 teaspoons, yeah. Again, taste, you can always, add more if you want. And then the last thing, just before serving, and you always serve it like, at like a reasonable hot temperature. I'm gonna just squeeze in maybe a half a lime or lemon, that's fine too. I'm using lime, yes, I'm using half a lime. Yeah, and I think at this point, I'm gonna just turn it off. Yeah, and then I'm gonna cover it for a couple of minutes, so. All right, I'm gonna cancel, there you go. And cover. And just give it a couple more minutes. And I think we're good to go. Okay,
From over here, I think it'd be great to show people at home.
yes,
One beautiful finalized dish. Make them super jealous.
oh my God. Oh, and maybe I can take a little picture too. Oh,
Yeah.
photograph. Yeah, come in, let's get a picture. Yeah, let's get.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that is very important. Yeah.
Well, picture with the dish. is
Oh.
better.
Or you know what? Maybe I'll just lift it like this,
Yeah.
there. Like this,
Anyone
yeah.
ever has photos of next village events, please send them our way. I try to do my best, but my best is not very. I appreciate the support. Sorry about it.
Everybody's good with shrimp? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so I'm just gonna put in a couple and then feel free to always have seconds. So let's go with there. All righty, let's go with this. All righty, who should we start with? All right, thank you. All right, let's go. All right, and we have to, all right. So maybe if you can help me pass around and see. Yeah. There. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you for viewing this Next Village video recording. We hope you enjoyed it. Please help us spread the word and tell friends and neighbors about Next Village events and services for seniors and adults with disabilities in San Francisco. Visit our website to learn more about our vibrant, growing network, as well as to view our calendar of upcoming Zoom and in-person events and activities in San Francisco. Our website is nextvillagesf.org. Contact us to join our email list to learn about events and resources for seniors in San Francisco. And subscribe to the Next Village YouTube channel by clicking the button below.